Hey, it's nice to have you back here in this new video. I'm now going to capture Starry Night with the brand new Kandao QooCam 3. This camera has a large image sensor, large aperture, so I suppose this camera should have great performance in super dark shadow areas. It is a bright sunny day, and you can see clearly that there's beautiful Starry Night all around my places. I'm now shooting with my Sony ZV-E1. That my face has now been light up only with the flip screen. I mean without any ambient light. And I would like to show you the screen capture, the settings, and what I'm thinking about on this shot. I switch back to manual focus. That you can literally see the skies. You can even notice the Milky Ways up in the air. The Milky Ways looks just gorgeous. Take a look. That is the magic of the stars. I'm going to capture this light with the QooCam 3. This is how I place my camera. As you can see, I put my QooCam 3 on a mini tripod. Up in the air, it's just beautiful Starry Night. And besides, I also play this basketball court. At the top of this 360 photo, making it more dramatic. This is the arrangement that I have. Okay, now I'm going to light up my face with the tally light, the flip screen on my face, and I'm going to share with you the screen capture, the settings. The settings photo mode, and capture 62 megapixel or 60 megapixel. Let's try 60 megapixel with quad Bayer pattern. This sensor literally could give us a better low light performance at the higher ISO. So we shot in 16 megapixels, RAW plus JPEG. White balance, set auto. Never mind. Countdown. Manual settings. I would love to set ISO to around 800. 800 maximum shutter speed. 60 seconds. Let's give it a try. Capture the shot. We have waited around 1 minute, and I have already heard the shutter sound from this camera. I suppose we're gonna see the photos really quickly and get to see the Starry Night, the result in our mobile phone. Okay, let's wait for the shot. 16 megapixels, the 5.7K photos. It's not 62 megapixels, but never mind. Let's give it a try. And later I will capture another 62 megapixels with full sensor readout. 11K long age, 5.7K in short age. I'm gonna also make some comparison in between these two shooting modes about this camera, and take a look at which one has better image quality, especially in super low light to capture Starry Night. Let's take a look. The QooCam 3 has 1/1.55 inch sensor, so I suppose with ISO of 800, this is a sweet spot of this camera. Judging from my personal experience with all of these cameras, all these smaller sensors on mobile devices, ISO 640 or ISO 800 is something locates at the sweet spot for the quality, noise level, and the shutter speed. let's take a look. My face has been lit up only with a flip screen and a tele light. Take a look. This is my face with a tele light and light up with a flip screen. It's pretty insane. Take a look. Download. Let's take a look at these photos. It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. Take a look at all the stars above my head, the super dark shadow areas. I'm pretty satisfied with the result. I think this 5.7K resolution already delivers a stunning quality at this level, and later I will capture another 62 megapixels edition at exactly the same spot. Take a look. And yes, you can definitely use DNG8 to reduce the noise and use the RAW Plus, but at this moment my Mac OS, the RAW Plus is still not compatible, so I will use a single raw DNG files and with some AI algorithm to boost the quality to reduce the noise without the raw stacking technology. So I will only capture a single 62 megapixel and a single 16 megapixel photos that make comparison and explore the real potential on the basis of a single raw image from the QooCam 3. I think the ISO 800 already delivers stunning result in this environment. So I'm really looking forward to see what I will have a few seconds later. My face has been lit up by my mobile phone. I mean, it's overexposed. It's pretty insane. It's full frame body. It really delivers a stunning performance in low light, but not with 360 camera, not with your phone. But I can make the full potential, squeeze the full potential from smaller body to get what I want in this scenario. So let's take a look. The result, 62 megapixels really take a little bit more space. So judging from the first appearance, I mean the quality looks quite similar with the 16 megapixels. So let's go back and take a look at the result on our desktop. Okay, now let's switch back to my desktop and take a close look at the 62 megapixels versus the 16 megapixels. Let's take a really close up to compare the quality. Well, does pixel size matters or the pixel numbers matters to the quality? So these are the photos being captured with the QooCam 3. Previously in the screen capture, this 3 JPEG straight out from the camera, the raw DNG files from the files. Well, let's first compare this JPEG quality. Open the Adobe Camera Raw. As you can see, the shutter speed is 60 seconds, the longest shutter speed for the QooCam 3. And this one is 5.7K, and this is 11K resolution, the different pixel numbers and different pixel size. Well, judging from the first experience, I think that take a look at the black shadow areas. The 16 megapixels tend to have more light, captures more light than this one. Take a look. There's a small differences. The same 60 shutter speed. These two photos that share the same 60 seconds shutter speed, but the 60 megapixel photo looks brighter compared with the 62 megapixels. 16 megapixel 5.7K when the sensor works as a quad layer pattern. the sensor seems to be more sensitive to light. This is the first judging from my first experience. And zoom in to 200%. And this one zoom in to 100% because this one has more pixels. This is the photographer is me while performing this recording for you guys. I mean, these numbers, the 5.7K photo does look brighter compared to this one. But this one, this 11K photo does have more detail, more pixels, more detail compared with the 5.7K photo. The 11K does have more resolution, more detail, but it's less sensitive compared with the 5.7K edition. And here is the real differences in between these two photos. In raw DOI file, we will see the real power of the sensor. Now I haven't done anything to raw DOI files. Let's take a look. 12%, 100%, and let's take a look at compare with the basketball card once again. As you might have noticed, the 5.7K photo still looks brighter compared with 11K, and Bone's photo has a relatively high noise level, while 11K does have less noise level compared with the 5.7K. I don't know the reason, and 5.7K photo does have more color noise compared with 11K. They look a little bit different, but yes, the 5.7K does have it's brighter compared with that one. In the latest camera raw edition, Adobe has implemented the AI-based noise cancellation. You can denoise with the power of AI. Let's perform this AI enhance. Well, you can literally denoise on the basis of the single raw DOI file. And judging from my experience, you get the best quality when you set amount of denoise to 50. Denoise as much as you want while still maintain a real sky looking in your final shot. This is the final shot where you can get, and this photo looks pretty stunning after AI denoise algorithm. Take a look. I mean, the AI will automatically wipe out all the color noise, the white noise, and level down the noise level, make your shots looks stunning overall. Take a look. I mean, this is pretty insane. I just love it. And the estimated processing time on my MacBook with M2 Max chipset is around 6 seconds. It's pretty fast. And you can apply this technology to interval shots on the basis of raw single frames. Well, things got a little bit tricky on this 11K photo. You tap on enhance. Theoretically speaking, technically speaking, you should reduce more noise and make even better overall looking on this 11K photo, but this image sensor is a quad pair pattern. When you full sensor readout for 11K, the maximum resolution, the sensor tends to perform a remosaic. The remosaic recompose all the pixels in different places or to produce 11K resolution. I suppose that the AI models, AI algorithm in the camera raw does not familiar with such algorithm, such quad pair pattern. So the AI denoise, it doesn't work, just doesn't work on the 11K photo. I do hope in the future the Kandao engineer could figure out the problem and just make it work. The quality that easily exceeds that of the 11K photo, and that is the real magic, the real trick behind the high quality Starry Night photo from the Kandao QooCam 3. And this is something that differentiates the QooCam 3 to any other competitors, including Insta360 X3. Because for Insta360 cameras, you cannot post-process on a single RAW and stitch later. But for Kandao, for QooCam 3, everything is possible. So to speak, for my denoise raw DN file, the pixel number, the quality just easily exceeds that of the 11K photo. Take a look. On a single raw DN file, open the camera raw. This is a final shot. Just apply auto and lower down the highlight. Add a little bit textures. And cancel the sharpening by default. Things got really interesting. Zoom into 200%. You can see clearly the Starry Night, the Milky Way up in the air. This is the final shot. And take a look at the detail on the floor. It's just almost noise-free. And the basketball court looks fantastic. Everything looks awesome. And for better quality, turn on remove chromatic aberration. I think it's great overall looking, and judging from the histograms, I think we can still level out a little bit on highlight and lower down exposure. Add a little bit more contrast. Lower down highlight. Yes, to make the overall looking more vibrant, and change the temperature. Lower down the temperature. Lower down temperature a little bit for more a deep dark sky looking. This is before. This is after. Before, after. It's a completely new way of manipulating the raw files for the Kandao QooCam 3. And for this camera, same as a TIFF file, because drag and drop, the software will automatically recognize these files and stitch for us. This is a high quality shot. Yes, this does look interesting. Change your angle. And for the QooCam Studio, you have a similar experience like the BD and turn on grid light, and you can use your mouse to drag and drop your picture raw file. This is a feature request that I've submitted to the Kandao engineers years ago, and I'm so happy that they have finally put this feature into the studio. And if you hold on Shift and yes, and with the overlay grid lines, you can adjust your photos, the best looking, the perfect horizontal line, vertical lines, and you can export. You can export at 5.7K photos, and you can even export a single lens unfolded view, that is a unstitched fisheye image, to wrap up to the equirectangular format in post-process, that you can wipe out the stitching area, get rid of the artifacts by the optical flow stitching algorithm. Add, export, and you are good to go. And in the KD output, you can see this. It's an unstitched panel. This unstitched panel from a single fisheye lens, and this is the final result. And with the software, with the touch retouch, you can wipe out the tripod, and here you can see the bluish color in the nadir part. That is because for the QooCam 3, it will not shut down the screen during long exposure shot. So the screen tend to light up the ground, the foreground, and get a little bit of bluish look. I do hope in the future they can turn off the screen, turn off any color light during long exposure shot. Just wipe out these artifacts, and boom. Yes, you're good to go. Take a look. So this is a perfect shot with perfect nadir and a beautiful sky up in the air. Well, I think from the previous tutorial you have already mastered the technique presuming the best image quality from a single raw image in 5.7K. The 5.7K resolution is more sensitive than 11K resolution. And once you have the best quality from a single frame on the basis of a single raw, that is to say, it is possible to capture high quality time-lapse video with interval shots. Because with interval shots, you can literally capture raw files and boost the quality one by one in post-process. And it's definitely possible to presume the best Starlapse or night lapse in premium quality. So coming next, let's give it a try, and I would like to show you every technique, small little tips and tricks during my post-processing, because there are some very special tips, very special technique that help you to boost your efficiency. Now let's get started. Okay, here is my screen capture for my interval shot frame. I've been captured with the QooCam 3. Okay, here just want to share with you my basic EXIF information to help you capture Starlapse, a brilliant nightscape images. At f1.6, the maximum aperture, 60 seconds, the longest shutter speed, at ISO 640. The QooCam 3 has over 1.55 inch sensor. I think ISO 100 and ISO 640 are gonna give you a good imaging quality, overall imaging quality. So I think ISO 640 or ISO 800 it is the sweet spot for this camera. Multi-select all of the raw DNG files. I have captured altogether 165 raw DNG files during the whole night. And Adobe in-camera raw. I mean, I won't enhance image quality frame by frame. Take a look. Join from the preview. This also gives me amazing quality. And select all of them. Right click, click on enhance so that you can enhance every one of the frame. And it'll take you around. I think it's, as you can see in my M2 Max chipset. 165 images. The post-process gonna estimated time is 16 minutes. It's pretty fast. I get all of these raw DNG files from these shots. These are the raw files I've been captured with the enhancement from the camera raw. As you can see, the quality looks stunning. And I can go through them one by one, that I can finally get this high quality single frame raw file. And here is my basic post-processing parameters: export settings, contrast, highlight, shadow, black, texture, vibrance, saturation, locked temperature during the night. These are shots and optics, turn on, remove chromatic aberration, and batch export all of them. You get this. You get these interval frames. Take a look. These are the interval frames being captured with my technique. Really high quality. 14 megabyte per photo. These are the shots. But before you really dive deep into your next step, I suggest that you should, what you should do is to rename all of these images, because later you want to add these frames as image sequence to directly generate the Starlapse video. So here you can see I have copied and pasted all the files. These are shots have been captured. I stitch, drag and drop. QooCam Studio does take a little bit more time to add all of the files. Here is a trick. Once you have all these files, directly hit Optic Flow Differentiate and turn off. Remember to turn off gravity correction, and hit on Export, and apply the current stitching settings to the selected all of the images. I click on Yes, and batch export as JPEG or PNG file, whatever you want, into your folder. And later you will have these image sequences that I have been stitched in my QooCam Studio. These are shots. This is the high quality time-lapse video in the equirectangular format. And later you can add these images as a image sequence generated video in 25 fps directly in Premiere. Well, this is a preview for this video. Just looks gorgeous, right? But I suggest that you remember, select all of them, hit on rename in the Adobe Bridge. Hit on batch rename. Batch rename, you need to start with the number 1, and I use 4 digits. I start with 01. This is the final result. And this image sequence that has such renaming characters, this photo can be recognized as image sequence. Just follow my step. Here I have another interval shots for this. This is another time-lapse videos. And yes, later you can add an image sequence in Premiere and generate my following 360 videos. And here in my Adobe Premiere, the playback, you can see this time-lapse videos. Just feels stunning, feels gorgeous. I have another one. This is my tutorial video, and I have rig frame with the GoPro FX plugin. Take a look, rig frame. These are the shots you've been watching at this moment. Yes, and the playback in reverse speed. And I can even stack all of the files as together to construct the Statstails. Here's my result for the Statstails. Take a look. Let's stack. These are photos. These are photos with Statstails. Blend them and just use a lighting that I can get these shots. The whole Starry Night. But if you take a closer look at the image, you will notice some artifacts, because in these shots you can see my stitching lines in the Starry Night. There's a stitching lines. Take a look. There's some gaps. It's very strange, because the orientation for my camera locates just in between the two halves for the Starry Night. So to speak, to get the best possible Starry Night photos, you had better use a single fisheye lens towards the starry sky. That is the reason why I've taken my second try to capture the interval shots for the Starry Night later and get these shots. These interval shots, take a look at a single image. I have put one of the fisheye lens towards the sky to capture a complete star's tails without any stitching errors. If you revise the photo being captured last time, you might have noticed that the screen on the QooCam 3 just blown out the ground in the super dark shadow areas. So once you use the rear lens, the lens just above the screen, capture whole Starry Night, there's just no light pollutions at all. You get a crystal clear ground image. Take a look. These are shots. This is pretty sunny. A beautiful ground, a beautiful playground, and a complete sky. Use the same technique. I get this frame. These are the shots, and I can use QooCam Studio to stitch all the files and regenerate another star's tail photos. This time I get a complete star's tails above the sky and a great overall imaging quality. And I use the interval times at 1 second, and I capture altogether around 119 frames in high quality RAW and stack them together to get these shots. This is what I get with QooCam 3, and I'm just so excited to share with you all of my techniques, the bonus tips behind the scenes. And that is a basic recap for my experience behind the Statstail photos being created with Kandao QooCam 3. Overall, the Kandao QooCam 3 is a great camera for low light 360 shots. And the QooCam 3 is unveiled as a very reasonable price point, and considering the large aperture and the large image sensor, this camera is very capable to deliver premium imaging quality for 360 content creators. And still there's something that to be further improved by the Kandao engineers. So the number one is to solve the problem of the 11K red mosaic raw DNG files, that this raw file can be recognized by the camera raw and further improve the quality at maximum resolution. The second, that I wish Mac OS compatible RAW Plus will come out as soon as possible. And RAW Plus is something like a secret weapon for the QooCam. And QooCam 8K even has an embedded version of the RAW Plus that can directly stack and merge in the hardware. But for QooCam 3, I do hope that the Apple Silicon acceleration can be utilized to boost your efficiency for stacking, because the RAW Plus stacking can get rid of any artifacts, ghost effects, thus generate even further imaging quality. But anyway, I'm pretty satisfied with the imaging quality, and I just can't wait to share with you my personal experience, because I am a very experienced QooCam user, and I wish that you can enjoy your content creation with this camera as well. So talk to you soon, see you next time, bye.